Summer construction season in full swing, and you've probably driven over one of those plates in the middle of the road recently. They're a sign of work in progress, or in some cases, not. Yeah. Tonight, an IT-made investigation uncovered city records that show how smaller projects are ignored. As IT-mate's Bennett Haeberle explains, one involves a noisy nuisance for neighbors. Bennett?
Dave and Lori, the city says it has 145 bridges in need of repair or replacement, but not enough dollars to fix them. We found one problem area the city has known about for years. And in this case, it's left neighbors with a constant reminder.
Every time somebody drives over this, it sounds like somebody is slamming their door and coming to my house. Every single time, it wakes me up.
Veretta Hendricks knows a thing or two about covering a surface.
Yeah, I'm running out of spaces, and the spaces I do have aren't as tight as they used to be.
While her tattoos are permanent, Veretta and her other neighbors were hoping the metal plates on their street would be temporary.
There you go. That's what you get to hear all night long, too.
I think after so long you get used to it, but I mean, you can definitely hear it all night.
My main concern is to get this thing fixed right, the way it should be done right.
For years,
oh yeah,
neighbors in this West Indianapolis community say they have asked the city repeatedly to come up with a solution to fix their broken street. Metal plates are covering holes in the road that butt up to this small bridge that spans a creek along Westbrook Avenue. Years of localized flooding has caused erosion. If you take a look underneath the plate, you can see a fairly large hole. The city installed the metal plates as a temporary fix. That was 4 years ago.
Right.
The neighbors say while their constant reminder is loud and clear, their cries for help, they feel, have fallen on deaf ears.
Boom, 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 boom.
Just constant?
Constant.
We knew about this issue, and we knew that in the springtime we were going to have to deal with this.
Melody Park with the Department of Public Works told me the city has known about it for more than a year. But this Google Street View image shows a metal plate over the road in 2011. And city records obtained by IT-Mate after our interview show complaints about the road date back to 2012. When we followed up to ask about how long the department has known about this, we were not provided a clear answer, other than after DPW was made aware of the Westbrook Avenue Bridge, we addressed this issue by placing steel plates over the abutment. The same city records from 2012 included an inspector's note that stated the hole is several feet deep, and while it may not pose a hazard to cars or trucks, it could very possibly be a hazard to motorcycles, bicycles, and pedestrians.
You're going to see somebody's going to get hurt or whatever on that.
David Tucker and other neighbors recorded video of city crews inspecting and performing routine maintenance. This video was shot in November. They say the problem has gotten worse. Last month, when city crews returned to inspect the erosion, neighbors snapped these photos, revealing large holes in the concrete.
I about flipped out. I said, I cannot believe the hole was that deep. And it's just, you know, it's terrible.
Some might view that and say, well, did they neglect their job? Did they fail to do their job if they knew about it and let it to continue to deteriorate?
No, one of the things is that this was built in 1940s, and just like every other infrastructure, it is at the end of life usage. And you know, if you think about the steel structure above the hole, actually that is a structural steel, so it is very safe.
As Melody Park explained, the bridge is one of 20 in Indianapolis that needs to be replaced. The problem is money.
And we need to get it fixed. But we have about 145 of those type of structure that are not in the fair condition, and we need about $62 million to fix it.
So it sounds like you have more problems than you have dollars.
Yes.
Budget figures provided by the city show money set aside to replace bridges has dwindled in recent years, from its peak of $26 million in 2011 down to $5.8 million last year. Replacing this small bridge could cost $500,000, Park says, making it a low priority for a city with much larger needs. But records show little progress has been made elsewhere. Of the 20 bridges set for replacement, only one is documented as completed. The other is still under construction.
We are depleted with resources, both personnel as well as the funds but we try to do our best.
3 weeks after our interview with the city, there are now literal signs of progress and indications that the work will continue this summer.
Adjustments of the plates appear to have slightly dampened the noise, which could provide relief for neighbors in search of silence.
I would like to see the road paved and these plates removed.
Now, the plan is to continue to do these temporary fixes with the hope of replacing the bridge in 2018. What's ironic about this bridge is that it barely meets the definition. The city says anything that spans over 20 feet is considered to be a bridge. This bridge measures out at 20 feet 1 inch, although we measured and found it to be slightly larger. Regardless, if it were smaller, it could be considered a culvert, meaning the city could use money from a different coffer to fix it. The bottom line is, though, there is a long line of demand for smaller infrastructure projects that did not get addressed during the rebuild Indy years and now have to compete for federal dollars. Bennett Haeberle, 24-Hour News 8.